From a perfect cage mimicry live on TV,
Well, good evening, Nick. You're looking very well tonight.
Oh, that's very kind of you, Nick.
to one of Hader's classic impressions.
I don't sound anything like them.
No, you sound exactly like this.
Here are 8 times a comedian did an impression in front of the actual person. Starting off with 2 friends who take any excuse to mimic each other. Kevin Hart and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson were doing an interview for their film, Central Intelligence, when they were asked something completely new.
Kevin, I want you to pretend that you're Dwayne in high school, and Dwayne, you're Kevin in high school.
Okay.
And Kevin missed no beat to answer the first question.
What would you like to be when you grow up?
If I could be a fireman, that would be cool.
That's me.
I would love to be a fireman. Are you gonna eat that pudding?
But little did he know that Dwayne had an even better impression locked and loaded to go.
I'm Kevin Hart, right, in high school. Okay, yeah. Hey, everybody, hey, girl. No, she ain't hear me. Hey, what's up, man? No, he ain't seen me. Come on. Oh.
But even Dwayne's great impression seems pale in comparison to this John Malkovich impression done by one of history's best. On June 12, 2008, Malkovich came on SNL as a guest appearance and was immediately met with Hader doing an Italian impression.
I can be John Malkovich.
I'm sorry?
Hello, my name is John Malkovich.
I don't sound anything like them.
No, you sound exactly like this.
And while this Malkovich impression was great, nothing can match this next segment done by one of Hollywood's most famous comedians. In SNL's season 25, Jerry Seinfeld came to debate on certain political issues. His opponent? Someone he knew very well.
Perhaps in the future we shouldn't have a person debate himself.
But he makes a good point.
I like what this guy has to say.
I know, you're me.
No, you're not. I'm you.
I know, I'm kidding.
I know you're kidding.
I know you're kidding about me. Kidding, I'm kidding.
Want to go see a movie?
Yeah! Let's go!
And while Jimmy was safe impersonating Seinfeld, the same cannot be said in this next segment where he took a big risk doing a president's impression. In September 2015, Jimmy enters his Tonight Show with a very interesting outfit on.
I'm about to go out for my interview with Jimmy Fallon. I'll call you back after I comb my hair. Talk to you in 3 hours.
But as he sat down to look at himself in the mirror, it wasn't his own reflection that greeted him back, but rather someone very familiar.
Wow, I look fantastic.
Trump and his reflection quickly prepared themselves for their upcoming interview.
All right, Nee, we've got a big interview with Jimmy Fallon coming up. But let's be honest, Fallon's a lightweight. No way he deserves to interview me. The only one qualified to interview me is me.
Me interviewing me, that's what I call a great idea.
But Trump quickly found out that even the president of the USA can be turned into a silly impression.
Are you ready for the Republican debate next week?
You know, the truth is, I'm always ready. It's really going to be a big debate, but I'm always ready.
It's not just big, it's huge! Huge!
Jimmy had answers loaded to go when Trump tried to turn the tables back.
Said that you get Mexico to build a wall at the border. How do you plan to do that?
Well, since I'm you, why don't you tell me?
How am I going to get Mexico to build a wall? Easy. I'll challenge them to the biggest game of Jenga ever. I'll make them set up the board. And then when they finish, I'll say, I don't want to play anymore.
And Fallon isn't the only one who cloned his impression, since this next comedian also went to great lengths to turn into one of Hollywood's most famous actors. Andy Samberg did a segment called Get in the Cage with Nicolas Cage on SNL, and in season 37, he hosted a very familiar guest.
Future project, so please join me in welcoming Nicolas Cage and Nicolas Cage?
The interviewer, of course, couldn't handle this incredible sight, And so he was compelled to ask,
Here, how is this possible? I'm looking at two identical Nick Cages.
he would soon get his answer.
Well, Seth, I can explain if you just calm down!
I'm calm.
Okay, as everyone knows, my dream as an actor is to appear in every film ever released. However, until now, I've only been able to muster a measly 90%, bringing shame upon my dojo.
Sure, of course.
But fortunately, today, science has prevailed, and I'm proud to announce that my cloning experiment has finally come to fruition.
But it turned out that even the clones had their differences.
Well, while physically we are exactly the same, there are some slight differences personality-wise.
Yes, for example, this Nick is calm and stealthy, like a ninja warrior.
Whereas this Nick is an exaggerated, screaming psychopath and really just doesn't exist.
That's high praise.
And when things got heated for a while,
Well, I mean, I have to say it sounds great.
Hey, you mind your manners, hair gel!
Nicholas Clone soon suggested a remedy.
Just calm down, Nick. Let's do our self-esteem exercises where we pay each other compliments. Nick, I love your lion's heart.
Nick, I love your sense of humor. Dry and marbled like a quality beefsteak. No A1 sauce required for this jester, for the tangy flavor rises from within. Also, I love your scent, musky and masculine, like that of a silverback gorilla in a form-fitting leather jacket.
Sandberg was overflowing with compliments. But our next comedian didn't hold back while roasting this ex-NBA superstar in his impression. In February, Jay Farrow came to NBA on TNT for a roasting segment on Shaq and decided to do this killer impression.
But I've been doing Shaq for so long, I can tell you exactly what he's thinking right now. All my friends are saying mean things. Hurt my feelings. Shaq a big, strong man outside, but soft inside. Shaq hate bullies. Everyone is calling Shaq dumb, but Shaq not dumb. I have a doctorate. Charles is the dumb one. Charles probably think Dr. Red is a girl doctor. Shaq a boy doctor.
But you know what's funnier than having a comedian do your impression? Having an entire cast of comedians do it. And this is exactly what happened to this veteran actor. In season 33 of SNL, Walken came to a family reunion, and it was really obvious whose family it was.
Christopher, I can't believe you made it.
Is that you? Stanley, how's by you? Long time no see, big hug. Huh?
Big hug.
Big hug.
Wow!
Wow! When's the last time I saw you, Stanley?
It's my brother John's wedding 15 years ago.
That wedding was so nuts. I recall we stole the ice sculpture. I wonder what happened to it.
I don't know. It probably melted.
Soon, the rest of the family started chiming in.
Speak of the devil, that's John.
Hey, Christopher. Wow.
John, is that you, or do my eyes deceive me?
It's really me. You remember my kids, Maxine and Scott?
Maxine and Scott seem to have their own problems.
Scare me. And I'm pretty sure one is living under my bed.
I promise you, darling, there's no ghosts around here, so you're safe.
That's good, because I hate ghosts. They're spooky. And I don't respond well to spooky behavior.
I want to be skateboarding and listening to my iPod, not at some ridiculous family reunion.
Scott, I appreciate your situation. For a Walken, adolescence is a difficult time. You feel like you're the only normal person in a school full of nut jobs. Am I right?
Wow! It's like you're looking right into my noggin.
The Walken family might be lookalikes, but it wasn't so apparent when this next comedian did an impression of his own interviewer. Rowan Atkinson was enjoying the 2024 British Grand Prix when he was approached by Martin Brundle, the famous F1 commentator.
Rowan, how are you? Hi, dear. You okay?
Rowan quickly caught on that Brundle was slightly nervous and decided to have some fun by doing his impression.
I enjoyed the motorsport dinner the other night. I didn't get a chance to come over and say hello.
True, yeah, I saw you. You were very good.
I don't know about that, but what would Mr. Bean reckon to all of this Formula One malarkey?
Yeah. Well, he would enjoy it very much because he's a car enthusiast, as you know.
And while Rowan continued doing the impression, it didn't look like Brundle realized it until the end.
Enjoy it. But anyway, it's fantastic to be here. I'm a guest of George Russell, which is, you know, it wasn't planned for me to be here on a weekend, when he got pole, but here we are.
Rowan Atkinson name dropping. Whatever next?
I know. I'm here as a matter of fact, as a guest of George Russell. So.
Oh, fantastic.
Brundle might still be clueless from Rowan's mimicry, but the impression of this next actor couldn't have been more obvious.
And I'm wondering if you guys would be game to play with that a little bit today and switch for this interview.
Let's do it.
You be Kevin.
Of course you should. Okay.
You be Jack.
Oh, this is good.
You be Dwayne.
Great.
Okay.
Here we go. Yeah.
And while The Rock and Kevin did some creative impressions,
Said, hey, as a baby, I said, hey, what do you call a baby that just came out? And they said, what?
You get life and you gotta take it. Put your hand in the trunk and do that. And, you do what you do.
they couldn't hold a candle to Jack Black's turn.
Dwayne, we hear so much about your workout plan, and I'm curious if you could just walk me through a little bit about what it takes to be Dwayne Johnson.
Oh, I'm glad you asked that question. First of all, you're Kathleen from Screen Junkies, right? I never forget a face, I never forget a thing. Mine's like a steel trap. I wake up at 5 a.m. and do 27,000 rip curls, bleed, blood, sweat, tears. That's the approach that I take to life. That's how I approach everything. Life is a delicious drink that you have to suck deep. There's no time like the present to enjoy your loved ones, your family, your things, that, the other thing. And then projects, I gotta go.
Wow. That's good.
It really shows how incredible comedians are when they can pull off impressions with such ease.